Hello, and welcome back to our channel, Screenplay Recaps. Today I will recap the fantasy movie called A Magical Journey. Let's dive into it. We start in a studio where Paulina is acting out a fight scene with a co-star. When she wrapped up the performance, her daughter came over to let her know that she wanted to be an actress. Then Paulina showed her around the studio.
All this belongs to you, Mommy?
Yes.
She claimed that one day you would own the entire studio that her great-parents had painstakingly built and inherited from them. She then shares her narrative, describing how it began on her 12th birthday in this studio the day before. She used to share a large mansion with her nasty aunt Varvara, her mother's sister. Her parents died while she was a little child, and Varvara adopted her. Whenever Paulina asked her aunt for information about her parents, Varvara never responded since she couldn't recall their looks. Her cousin Dylan wanted to be her friend, so he brought her a magnificent wooden box one day. She accepted the box, but didn't trust him enough to accept his friendship. Later, she discovered studio identification cards, various studio-related documents, and a shredded image of a guy inside the strange box. She assumed whether he was her father or someone else.
A lot of questions came with that box.
Suddenly, Varvara burst into the room, yelling, "Where did she find the box?" As a result of her fear, Paulina lied to her she had taken the box from Dylan's room. She summoned Dylan, and he threw the box into the fire. They then locked her in the room and forbade her to leave. Hence, she picks up the box in the fire and removes the photo and documents. Furthermore, her father, ANTON BARCO, is released from prison on the same day. The officer informed him that he would not be permitted to see his daughter or visit the studio.
You are on probation for life.
On the other hand, Varvara intends to sell the studio before she turns 18, and she also does not want Paulina to learn about her parents. Paulina overheard Varvara's plans to poison her on her birthday the next day. She escapes from the mansion to save her life. She walks all night to reach the mysterious studio. In the meantime, Varvara and Dylan poison the birthday cake and go to wish her a happy birthday. Varvara is terrified that Paulina has fled. She picks up the burnt piece of paper and realizes Paulina is heading to the studio. Hence, she instructed Dylan and Edward to go over there and bring her back here.
Dead or alive, I don't care.
Paulina arrives at the studio the following morning and becomes disoriented since there are so many warehouses in the giant facility. She moves toward the children gathering at the entrance gate for a film workshop to blend in with them, so she can tour the studio from the inside and uncover the clues. Later, Varvara called the studio director to find the girl in the studio. Paulina was engrossed in the children's theater. All of a sudden, Saul appeared and attempted to apprehend her, but she managed to flee. As she exits the studio, she encounters creepy Dylan, who chases her but can't catch her since he hobbles. Paulina was extremely frightened. She enters Stage 1 hall, where she meets a holographic person. He assigned her the duty of collecting all of the remaining image parts. That will disclose her parents' true identities. The guy further stated that she must do the work and complete the photograph by midnight, or she would be stuck on the other side of the silver screen forever. He instructed her to follow the light. As she opened the door, an ambience from World War II appeared.
Anybody there?
She meets a boy there. SASHA was hiding in the truck. He instructed her to find another place to hide. All of a sudden, the tank appeared. Soldiers captured the boy, however, Paulina was able to flee. Afterward, inside the truck, she discovers the second half of the image. She was eager to know how this image ended up in the hands of this boy. Therefore, she proceeds to release the boy from the troops, and the boy later informs her that he received this image from Cleopatra and met him in music class at Stage 3 studio. She rushes toward the Stage 3 studio. There she confronts the crazy Dylan once more. He pursues her till she enters Stage 3. She recognizes she is no longer in the actual world since the surroundings have entirely changed. Saul is in the principal's character now and asks her what she is doing here. Paulina replied she couldn't find her class.
Miss Mogul's class, right? Follow me.
She observes that all the kids in the music class are the same ones she met in the morning, but they are acting out new roles now. Additionally, the instructor locked the cage with the less proficient piano students. The teacher then ordered Cleo to play the piano, and his excellent performance made Saul return to class. When the teacher stated Cleo is her most exemplary student, Saul responded that every kid could play like this, but you've been shouting at them for 20 years instead of focusing on them. As a result, he locked her in the cage, and students gladly left the class. Finally, Paulina shows Cleopatra a photo fragment and inquires where the rest of the picture is. Cleo replied, he swapped to Boom Boom for this costume.
I want to see my daughter right now!
Back to the present, when Anton reaches the mansion, he inquires about his daughter. Varvara said she had escaped, and he'll never find his daughter. Anton gets skeptical and starts beating Edward to inquire about the location of his daughter. Edward replies in an ominous voice, she is in the studio. He then snatched Edward's car and headed towards the studio. Cleo and Paulina meet Ivanica to collect the rest of the photos. Ivanica informed them that she handed over to the giant, who is deaf. They visit Goliath to take back a fragment of the image. Goliath doesn't want to return the photo without fighting, so Ivanica accepts his boxing challenge to take back the picture. However, they manage to win the fight with the help of Sasha.
Thanks for helping me out, my friends!
She got the third photo fragment, but one part was still missing. She assumed that woman in the picture was her mother. Goliath was severely hurt, he started crying, and they took him to the hospital. He wants to tell her something and asks for a pen and paper to write. He said the woman in the photo reminded him of the princess he loves. Paulina asks him who she is. He replies that she is the king's daughter and wants to go home. He is from the Viking era. Everyone promises to help him to back home if he facilitates them in finding Cleo.
You have to push the button.
The nurse then instructed them to go to room 5, where they found a girl in the hole under the bed. She is from the Viking era and says they must find the magic potion to save the king's life. King's new wife poisoned him to get the throne and didn't want the Goliath and princes to be together, so she banned the giant from entering the Viking village. Princes sent her to find him and bring the potion. They must have to go to stage 6 to find the elixir.
Stop him!
Saul informs Varvara that Anton is looking for his daughter in the studio. She threatened if he didn't want to go to jail to find them before they figured out what happened there. She is also coming to the studio to control the situation. Finally, they reach stage 6, and they meet the scientist who is making the potions. After a couple of failed experiments, Cleo took permission to make a potion and he made the universal potion that can cure and transform everything. After that, Paulina requests the scientist to help her to complete the last part of the picture. The scientist placed all the picture fragments in the magical tray to fix them. After a while, he picks up the photo from the tray. Paulina comes to know that there is a baby in the image. Scientists hand over the universal potion and request them to leave. She is desperate to know who is this boy in the picture as she comes out from the set. Dylan aggressively starts chasing her once again, and her father goes after Dylan to prevent him from capturing her. Paulina was running fast to reach stage 7 set on time so she could meet her friends in the Viking village. Therefore she opens the stage 7 door and enters the Viking village era.
Save the princess.
She learned that the Queen's army had arrested Goliath, and the children had become prisoners. Queen's lover orders the soldier to bind Goliath on the cultural wheel and bring a child for Queen's dinner. Paulina then heads towards the cage to free the children. She meets Sasha there. He asks her to leave because it's too dangerous, but she insists on helping. Sasha said to save the king and us, you have free Goliath, the only one who can help us. So she assistances Goliath to release from the cultural wheel. They then found King and gave him a universal potion to cure poison.
Where's Goliath? Find him!
Paulina informs King that Queen poisoned him to obtain the throne. King comes out from the castle. People are glad to see him back. King kicks out Queen's lover from the throne. He quickly takes out his magical horn and challenges the king with his mighty destroyer Drager. Goliath then drinks the potion to fight with Drager.
No one beat me!
Drager was strong enough. He might kill Goliath. So Sasha seeks Ivanica's help to get the horn from Loverboy. She immediately goes there and knocks him down. Goliath killed the Drager. As revenge, the Loverboy killed Goliath and tried to run away. The king's army arrested him and Queen too. Afterward, the princess gives a potion to Goliath to bring him back alive. Paulina got excited because she had completed 7 stages on time. But she is still curious to know who the baby is in the picture. Later, Viking princes take Cleo and her to a beautiful place to meet their mother. She tells Paulina that Cleo is her brother and he died with her in the fire long ago. They blamed it on her innocent husband. Mother says both must go back to the screen's other side. She can't go there, only children can go to the other side of the screen, so they need to go now. They start walking on the bridge that ends at the theater.
You're here, Paulina.
In the meantime, Varvara reaches the studio and demands the police arrest Anton. When police are about to arrest him, Hologram appears and requests everyone to look at the screen because he is going to reveal the truth about the incident.
Burn the place.
Varvara wanted to sell the studio, but her sister was against it. Therefore, she asked her son to burn the place and blame it on Anton. She then becomes the guardian and caretaker of Paulina's wealth. Before the police arrest them, Varvara and Dylan run away. Paulina introduces Cleopatra to her father and asks if he will let Cleo stay with her.
Wherever we go, you're welcome.
Police run after to arrest them, but they manage to hide in one of the warehouse sets. They find Paulina's poison cake there. The holographic person offers them to eat it, and they eat the cake. On the other side, Paulina celebrates her birthday with her father and brother. Back to the present, Paulina's daughter asks Cleo if he has returned from the silver screen.
Well, now you know the truth.
Paulina says to Nina they are going home and Cleo is coming with them too, but Nina wants to stay there, so she heads to stage 1 hall. So that was a magical journey. If you like this video, don't forget to like, comment, share, and turn on the notification so you won't miss the next recap. Until then, cheers.